No, well, 20, 30 years ago, we're in our 31st year, I purchased this 38-acre, beautiful, old, broken down, dilapidated sheep farm. And we were 10 years into the project when I really hit a very terrible I wasn't thinking finances. I was so excited about the whole thing. And, oh yeah, you can come for free. I wasn't a businesswoman. Oh yeah, so I was 5 months behind in the mortgage, 3 years behind in property taxes. I have maxed out credit cards, and I just got a notice saying that they were putting my property into a tax sale on the weekend in the newspaper. That's when I had a complete and utter meltdown. The meltdown had been coming for about 2 years because I knew something, wasn't good. And there was like a complete and utter surrender. And there's a whole story actually that I've written, but it was shortly after a real full-on surrender to this situation because the stress was so high. I couldn't sleep. It was really, really scary because I put my heart, soul, love, time, money into this, and I couldn't imagine it just going back to the bank. So it was shortly after then I had already met Renee Beth she was here. A lot of you know the story where we met and we talked about our common visions, and she said, oh, I'm involved with something, and maybe, no, actually, that's right. You didn't know yet. That's right. But we were talking about bringing leaders from around the world to change the way we do health and wellness and education. And we said, yeah, and our vision, we were drinking red wine and we were having a really great, big, huge vision. So a number of years later, Renee Beth came back to me with this idea of a company in the area of relationship marketing, network marketing. And I said, absolutely no way. She said, this could be a solution for where you're at right now. It could bring people to your retreat center. No, absolutely not. I had a fixed mindset about the industry. Nope, I want nothing to do with it. Never, know how, never. And my whole passion was about my retreat center. So it took Renee Beth some incredible patience, tenacity, willingness to say, I know this can help Angelyn, but she just doesn't know what I know. So she kept after me, and there was an event coming up in Portland, and it was like 10 days. So she contacted me about 6 or 7 times, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Go away, and anyway, that's a whole story. I won't get into that, but I did go down and take a look at it because I felt sorry for her. And I thought, oh God, I'll just go and have a look at what she's talking about. Well, when I was there, I did see something very remarkable. And long story short, I jumped on board with her, and I met Renata at that time as well, and Ta, and Renata said, I think she could take this far. And of course I did. It took off like a wild thing. Got to be the top income in Canada, the $1 Million Club, all of that I never in a million years thought would happen. I did dedicate, I would say, the first 5 years full on, flat out, and we did it. So that's the first time that this industry saved my retreat center from going back to the bank. And I'm forever, ever grateful for you, Renee, for being so tenacious and willing to just accept my no, go away. No, you're a sick woman. What's wrong with you? No. Right. To have accepted that. The second time was, as we all know, 2020. I got a notice that, actually the company that we had been involved with for 15 years, and Renee 16 or 17, Renata at 20, closed its doors in 2020. And I was like grief struck, like, oh my God, because it had continued to be a major partner with my retreat center. It was a financial partner that had kept the sustainability going, kept us going. And so that closed. And at the same time, we were mandated not to work. We couldn't have retreats. We couldn't have accommodation. We were not allowed to run retreats for what we thought would be a month or two, but it was 2 years. We did have to take out a government loan and we did have to go through those things, but I didn't have any fear because somehow something in me knew it would be okay. And I did immediately, because this time when Renee said, Angelyn, we found a home, we found something that's going to be brilliant. And I don't want any flack from you. Just get your credit card. I don't know if she said it quite like that, but it was like, we're not going to do a runaround. Because I said, no, I can't do it again. Oh, no. no. And I was grieving. I said, no, I can't. No. And she said, no, we're not doing that. So just get your credit card and we're going to do it. So right away, within an hour or so, we signed me up. And the rest is history. And it's been financially a beautiful thing. It's going to be 5 years, is it, or 6 years? 5 years this August. 5 years, yeah. So it has really helped to put a roof on my house, to do all the maintenance, massive amounts of maintenance at Xenia 30 years later. And I'm ever so grateful once again that it right away in, when we got started, it was covering the mortgage again in about 5 or 6 months. So I was able to get that mortgage covered, and on from there, the repairs. And it's my partner. And that's why I say anyone with a vision, a big vision, or something that costs a lot of money to have in the world, then we absolutely need this kind of a business, one that can really, whatever level you want to take it, you can. So I encourage, people, if you have visions and you want to talk to me, because I'll say yes, especially if it's deeply in your heart. And that I always say that you don't have a vision has you.